Okay, getting ready for the takeoff. I'm going to push parking brake and I'm going to hold the brakes. Okay, here we go. We are ready at just about at the threshold of 27. Let's go ahead and contact
ATC.
tower.
Continue when taking the assigned runway.
Okay, contact tower.
Memphis Tower, FedEx 17 Heavy, ready at runway 27. FedEx 17 Heavy, runway 27, line up and wait. Runway 27, line up and wait, FedEx 17 Heavy.
Okay, so they want us to line up and wait. So let's go ahead and get on to the active.
Taking runway. Landing lights on.
Okay, landing lights.
On. Taxi lights off.
Off.
Off. Turn off lights off.
Off.
Off. Strobe lights on.
Strobes.
On. Transponder set to TARA.
Okay, TARA on the transponder, so let's flip it all the way over.
Transponder set. Continue when in position on the assigned runway.
Okay, let's go ahead. Not quite onto the runway yet, but getting there. My rudder pedals are a little sticky. Okay, we are lined up and holding.
FedEx 17 Heavy. In position. Wind is 180. Start timer. Runway 27. Cleared for takeoff. Timer started.
Clear for takeoff.
Auto throttle arm switch on. Runway 27. Armed for takeoff. Advanced throttles to 55% N1 and allow engines to stabilize.
Okay, here we go. So
Press toga button. Call 80 knots.
Going to about 55%. And toga. $80 knots.
Call V1.
V1.
Call VR.
Rotate.
VR. Rotate. At positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Set gear up. Call at 200. Now at 200. Engage autopilot. Engaged. Retract flaps according to flap speed markers. Contact departure on 1. Continue when at 1000.
Okay, got to talk to departure.
Departure on 124.15. Now at 1000. Verify VNAV is engaged. Engaged. Departure climb checklist 17 Heavy F1. Verify gear up. Climbing to 2300. Engine anti-ice in auto. Auto.
FedEx 17 Heavy.
Continue when flaps are up.
Radar contact. FedEx 17 Heavy. Climb to flight level 300
here's
JT 5 departure.
Climb to flight level 300 via the JT5 departure, FedEx 17 Heavy.
Okay, we've got talk to clearance. Flaps up.
Continue when at 10,000 MSL.
Okay, check our displays. Climbing nicely. Set our range up a little bit. Let's adjust our heading.
FedEx-17 heavy, slow to 250 knots or less.
Okay, we broke 250 a little bit. A little aggressive on the thrust there. It's okay, the auto throttle will take care of that. So we've got a 250 knot climb under 10,000 feet. Right now climbing through 4,000, 4,400 on our way up to, I guess cleared up to 30 to flight level 300. So far everything checking out good. By the way, you know you can dim these displays by pushing that down. And that should, by the way, match our altimeter here, so we should be 29 or 88. Forgot about that. Flight level 300, flaps are up. After takeoff checklist. Gears up. Checklist complete. Okay, things are looking good there. Just going to climb through up to 10,000. One of the things I noticed is that the FlightFactor autopilot or auto throttle system tends to, when it gets to 10,000 feet, it will put in the next climb speed and bug that, but it's going to level off the nose quite a bit and flatten our ascent or our climb until we get up to speed. So I think our VNAV speed, if you recall, is going to be a whoops, that's a climb speed, sorry. Climb speed is going to be 287 knots once we get above 10,000 feet. So yeah, it'll bug 287 here at 10,000, and then it'll just drop the nose as the speed climbs, and then it'll continue to climb. It's just one of those things. Okay, coming up at 10,000. Keeping our speed under 250.
Now at 10,000.
Okay, there's 10,000.
Landing lights off.
Landing lights off.
Off. Turn off lights off.
Turn off lights off.
Passenger signs as required.
Passenger signs, let's go back to auto. Set.
Set. Above transition altitude, set altimeters to standard.
So you can see how the nose is pushed way down. Now we're just basically leveled off at around 10,000. Now we're building speed, which now we're at 287 on the bug. We'll accelerate to 287 knots, and then from there we'll pitch the nose back up. I don't think this is how it is in real life. I don't think it pitches down quite that much. Either way. There's 287 knots, and here we go. Now we're climbing. Nose is coming up, and our VREF speed, 91.4, very close to that. Let's put our engine information there, so we got everything in one place. Just take a look. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and climb all the way through to 18,000, which is transition altitude, and we'll set altimeters to standard. While we're climbing, one of the things that's kind of interesting to note is if you if you look here at the flight deck temperature and the cabin temperatures, what's interesting to me is how well this is modeled. So if we look at the air synoptic, if you look at it, you can see that right now the master is set to 22C, the flight deck set at 22C, and so on. That's because it's set to auto. But watch what happens if I turn the flight deck temperatures down, cabin and flight deck temperatures, turn those down. Now what happens is, if we go back to that synoptic, you see that it changed the master from 23 or whatever it was now down to 19, and it's changed our cold and warm trim mix between the air. The same thing I can do with the aft and bulk cargo. Right now they're set to low at 7 degrees C. So what if we do this and we set these up to high, maybe we have some animals or something in there. Now you can see the aft and bulk temperatures are set to 14C. So pretty cool. Something really kind of small but really interesting to note. Very well designed and modeled. Let's see what else can I. So I've showed you everything on electrical, right? There's the electric synoptics. All the generators are providing power from the engines. Just switched through a VOR right there. There's the stats page that we just looked at with the APU. Hydraulics, everything is green where it should be. Fuel we've looked at, right, 58, 57.9. Temperature, we really can't adjust the fuel temperature. That's going to get from X-plane. The air we just looked at, doors we looked at, gear. If you are coming in on the ground or do a rejected takeoff, you will see these numbers in here go from white to amber if you start to overheat the brakes. Very, very cool to have that modeled. I don't know if these are static tire pressures or not, but the brake temperature is definitely modeled. And the flight controls we saw, stabilizer trim is kind of nose down a bit right now at 3.2. Yeah, it's kind of hidden behind the thrust levers, but yeah. These switches all work. They just don't do much. You can record some ICAS events, I guess. I don't know where it records it to. One of the things that's kind of cool too is that you can switch these displays around. So if I click on left inboard and I say let's make that the engine page or let's make that the electrical synoptic, we can do that.